Warning: contains spoilers for The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power, Episode 4. The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power Episode 4 may have just revealed the first look at the sword that will be instrumental in defeating Sauron at the end of the Second Age. Given how the Rings of Power is telling a condensed version of the events of the Second Age, it makes sense for the showrunners to begin placing potential hints about the future of the show throughout its earlier episodes. One of these hints came in Episode 4, located in the Kingdom of Numenor. The Rings of Power introduced Numenor in Episode 3, with Galadriel and Halbrand being taken aboard a ship captained by Elendil. Elendil then took the duo to Numenor, the island kingdom of men that was gifted to the Edain by the Valar after their service during the War of Wrath. For centuries, the island kingdom of Numenor prospered in peace with almost no contact with the elves or Middle-earth, until Galadriel and Halbrand were brought before their queen regent, Tar Miriel. In the Rings of Power Episode 4, Galadriel is shown a secret by Miriel that is revealed to be a Palantir seeing stone. It is in the room that holds the Palantir in which the secret link to Sauron's demise is hidden. As Galadriel is being led towards the Palantir, the elf walks past a sword that bears a striking resemblance to the one that defeats Sauron during the War of the Last Alliance. Narsil. Resting against a wall is a sword with the same grip, pommel, and overall look, despite a slightly different color scheme, of Narsil shown in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. The Sword of Narsil explained. The Sword of Narsil is first shown in the prologue to The Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring during the War of the Last Alliance. During that war, the sword belongs to Elendil, the first High King of the Dunedain and leader of Gondor and Arnor. That Elendil is the very same one introduced in the Rings of Power Episode 3, played by Lloyd Owen, potentially foreshadowing his eventual claiming of the sword should it turn out to be Narsil. Eventually, Elendil claims Narsil and wields it during the final battle of the War of the Last Alliance on the slopes of Mount Doom. While it was shown slightly differently in Jackson's films, the battle featured Elendil and Gil-galad, seen in the Rings of Power, facing off against Sauron himself. Sauron bests the two and kills them both, while Narsil shatters into pieces. Eventually, Elendil's son Isildur picks up the handle of Narsil and uses the shard to cut the one ring from Sauron's finger, defeating the Dark Lord. Narsil is a hugely important part of Tolkien's story as it is instrumental in Sauron's first defeat of the Second Age. If the sword seen in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is indeed Narsil, it will be interesting to see when the show sees Elendil take ownership of it, setting up the climactic battle between father, son, and evil in the last alliance of men and elves. The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power continues Thursday-Friday on Prime Video. Join Amazon Prime, watch thousands of movies and TV shows anytime, start free trial now. Want more The Rings of Power articles? Check out our essential content below. How many episodes of The Rings of Power there are and when the finale is. The Rings of Power cast and character descriptions. Everything The Rings of Power leaves out about the War of Wrath, every new Tolkien location in The Rings of Power explained.